Apart from the bloodshed and Lumumba's remains, another unsilencing this tooth does is that of facing the confronting parts of history. The depiction of the tooth itself in the painting is confronting. It's a large tooth with blood dripping from it. These parts of history, they may be awkward or tough to deal with at times, but they are as much part of our histories as our victories or accomplishments. To deny them, to not talk about them, is to make them seem inconsequential or irrelevant. Every country has parts of its history that are blemished, but this does not mean we should try to erase them. Just like we can learn from mistakes in our personal lives, so too can we as countries learn from our mishaps in the past. But to learn from them, we must first know them.
One way is through art history. In this painting, for instance. Before I saw it, I knew little about this time period, but the images in the painting spoke to me. They made me wonder what had happened. When I saw the gold tooth at the center, I asked myself, what does this mean? Why is there a tooth in this painting? And it caused me to investigate.
I would like to look at this tooth as a gateway of thinking of other ways to unveil confrontational or unpleasant parts of history. We saw how impactful the book, The Assassination of Lumumba, was, but as I have just illustrated at the hand of Sapin's painting, there are also other ways of conveying history. I asked Sapin through which means he would like Lumumba to be remembered. This was his reply.
Surtout les formats, les expositions sur Lumumba, des livres sur Lumumba, des documentaires sur Lumumba, des monuments sur Lumumba, des places sur le nom de Lumumba. Il faut vraiment rappeler, surtout à la nouvelle génération, c'était ces efforts qu'il avait fait, les sang-froid, le courage qu'il avait. Et il faut qu'on se rappelle de lui sur tous les plans, sur tous les plans. Actuellement, on a une place Lumumba à Bruxelles. Je me dis, quand tu visites cette place-là, parce qu'on nous a accordé ça il y a une année déjà passée, je pense. Mais aujourd'hui, quand je passe dans cette place, c'est comme s'ils ont tué Lumumba deuxième fois. D'ailleurs, la place, pour moi, c'était pas crédible pour que ce soit la place Lumumba. Et c'est devenu une grande poubelle. Il y a des décombres partout, il y a des déchets partout. Et pour moi, je ne sais pas qu'ils ont fait ces démarches pour avoir une place Lumumba en Belgique. Ça n'a pas d'importance. Ça n'a pas d'importance. L'importance de Lumumba, c'est au Congo. Car jusque-là, il y a encore beaucoup de Belges qui parlent trop de mal sur la tête de Lumumba, malgré qu'on l'a assassiné, malgré qu'il est mort en telle sorte. Sa place est au Congo, sa place est dans les têtes des Congolais. Voilà. Ce n'est pas que lui, oui. Il était le premier à soulever vraiment sa voix, à se montrer vraiment un Congolais autonome.
We heard in Sapin's answer that he wants the new generation to be reminded of Lumumba's courage through, for example, expositions and documentaries. He also, however, talks about a Lumumba square in Brussels and says it has become a big trash can and that he doesn't know why they chose this spot for it. On the other hand, he does say, I tell myself when we visit the square, indicating he does go to see it when he goes to Brussels. He is not the only one who has a slightly critical tone towards the square. But before I tell you more about the critique, I would like to briefly explain to those of you who haven't heard of the square what it is. After the book by Ludo de Witte and the start of the inquiry into the Belgian government, ideas about a square in honor of Lumumba began to stir. Although even as late as 2016, a Belgian politician said, there will be no Lumumba Square, and that's final. The square did come into existence in 2018. As I said before, there was some critique on it.
This is an article by De Morgen, or The Morning, a Belgian newspaper, and the headline reads, "So Lumumba does get his own little square in Brussels." It goes on to say that even though the local council voted in favor of the name change of the square, the councillors did not attend the actual opening of the square, indicating that a lot is still to be done in terms of showing support for this part of history. It also states that the square is only just in Brussels, bordering with another municipality. It is not a very central place. The article does, however, also mention the good the square has brought, saying, "Descendants of the murdered politician and about 300 members of the Congolese community were blissfully happy with the new sign."
Allez Philippe!
Il y a deux grands-pères, il y a le père de mon père et il y a la figure qui, comme je le répète une nouvelle fois, appartient à tout le monde. Ça va ouvrir la porte, je l'espère, à ce qui aurait dû sembler évident depuis tant d'années déjà, c'est-à-dire d'assumer le passé de la Belgique et d'ancrer un peu plus l'histoire du Congo dans l'histoire de la Belgique, puisque ces deux histoires ne font qu'une.
Contested as it may be, the square has made Lumumba more visible. The final unsilencing of the difficult parts of history I would like to share with you is that through the medium of YouTube. Thanks to YouTube, I was able to share with you many of the clips I showed today. It can function as a platform to share history. We already saw this in the example of simple history at the start of this video. It is also a place for unsilencing. I would like to share with you a video by two girls that illustrates this point. They made a video after the following incident.
Hey! Oh! Hey! De Congo is van ons!
Sommige mensen denken dus echt dat dat niet erg is en fait. Ze zien eigenlijk niet hoe diep dat ligt.
Their full response video you can find at the end credits. I've taken a few parts from it. They included a part of history to help explain why singing songs such as we saw just now are a problem.
Hoe verwoordt het zich in de hedendaagse samenleving? In de geschiedenislessen heel dit geen verplichte leerstof is.
Ik weet nog, op school, ik heb dat meegekregen, maar dat was heel vaag, heel oppervlakkig. Toen moest ik zelf naar huis gaan om research te doen en tja, I was shook.
Eigenlijk worden vooral de positieve aspecten
Naar boven gebracht.
ja, het bewustzijn en de incidenten die nog plaatsvinden tonen aan dat er nog veel werk aan de winkel is. En als een land het koloniaal verleden niet erkent, hoe verwacht je dan dat jongeren de verantwoordelijkheid nemen? Er zijn zelfs ministers die heel dit incident goed praten en zeggen van ja, dan hadden ze maar weg moeten gaan. Waarom moeten wij zwijgen? Waarom moeten wij op onze woorden letten? En dit is geen wij-zij situatie, maar gewoon om aan te tonen dat dit een strijd is die altijd gevoerd werd en nog steeds wordt gevoerd.
Eerlijk gezegd, van al de mensen die wij kennen, zijn er echt nog niet eens op één hand te tellen hoeveel mensen die niet zwart zijn, dat hebben veroordeeld. Daar stel ik mij ook heel veel vragen bij.
Ik denk dat dat guilty conscience is, maar ook de gêne om erover te praten. Maar het niet te sprake brengen zorgt er niet voor dat dat verdwijnt. Wij beseffen dat als wij stilzwijgend toekijken, dat onze kinderen en de komende generaties nog steeds zullen strijden voor ongelijkheid. Het feit dat er zoveel in vraag werd gesteld, het feit dat de situatie volledig werd omgedraaid, heeft ons wel eigenlijk gemotiveerd om dit te doen.
Want nogmaals, voor ons stil zijn is echt accepteren. En wij accepteren dat niet.
The video has been watched over 50,000 times. It's been liked 3,000 times and disliked 128 times. I would also like to share with you some comments on this video.
Miss T says, "Thank y'all for speaking the God-honest truth. The Congolese genocide in the past and present is so disregarded, and like you said, silence is acceptance. My respect for you has increased. God bless you." Alikia says, "My dad was 9 when Congo finally got its independence. They can miss me with this, it was so long ago, bullshit." Russell Diwa says, "As a fellow Congolese living in the US, I applaud you ladies for speaking out about this. You have a great courage, strength, and respect for Congo." A Star says, "Was great watching this. I'm always inspired and encouraged to see people from my generation speaking out on issues happening with the history of Congo and the ignorance of others. Thank you." Annie Oga says, "We will not be silenced. #power to the people."
Now, of course, as with all content, it is important to fact-check and approach videos critically. But YouTube and, for instance, podcasts are a great place to discuss and/or inform. We can easily share videos, and I myself have noticed that if I send someone an article, they are less likely to read it than they are to watch a video. In a modernizing world, I think it makes sense to expand the way we share history.